Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today we are doing something slightly different. We are going to be doing a Q&A. So I put some questions in my WhatsApp group and on my Instagram, and people got in my DMs and gave me the questions. So here we go. So for those who don't know me, who are new here, hi, welcome. I'm Miranda. My friends call me Mimi, so whichever you like. I'm originally from London. I'm now living in the south of England, but I previously lived in India for 4 years, so it's been a crazy life. And I'm a yoga teacher, and I love teaching. I usually teach Hatha style, which we are going to get into a little bit of that in a minute. And yeah, so here's my Q&A. So I'm going to start with the first question, which is like how yoga can help with headaches. So it depends. It's very difficult to answer these sorts of questions because it depends on what's causing the headache. So if it's something like stress and that's why you're getting the headaches, I would recommend doing meditations, calming poses like child's pose, which are going to help you to release the stress, legs up the wall, that kind of thing. If you're getting headaches through having some sort of neck injury, which I know is quite common, just doing very gentle like neck circles and very gently rotating, looking left to right. So doing neck exercises, avoid anything that's putting too much pressure on the neck, avoid headstands, that sort of thing. So it really does just depend on why you're getting the headaches. That would be the first thing to address, and then looking as to why, and then focusing on that, and then looking for answers in that for what is the problem and going in that way, because it's difficult. You don't want to say, oh, do this, and then it's actually not going to help the actual root cause. So it's about looking at the root cause and going deeper into that, and that's where awareness comes in. Through yoga and meditation you get awareness, and through the awareness it's easier to manage symptoms. So moving on to the next question. So I had a few of these sort of questions, so I just sort of gonna link it all into one and just give a little talk, and hopefully it answers all your questions. If you've got any more, just let me know and I will answer them. So it's obviously about yoga and my arm, a lot around my arm. How do I manage yoga with my arm? How did yoga help me? How do I live with one arm? That, like, a lot around that. So basically, when I came into yoga, when I first started doing yoga, having a disability, I was just trying to keep up with people with two hands and was doing it all wrong. Not all wrong, but I was, instead of balancing my body, I was putting my body out of balance because I was just trying to copy what other people were doing, and obviously that didn't work for me. So it was a big journey to try and find my own way, and it is just trial and error a lot of the times. But having understood yoga, what we're trying to do through yoga is balance the mind and the body. So it doesn't really matter how we get there as long as we're all aiming for the same thing. So if I use blocks to balance myself now, but I wasn't doing that when I first came into yoga. So that was one thing that I had to find out for myself. And yeah, just doing yoga with a disability, you always think, I can't, but that's about finding the right teachers, and teachers who are going to help you on your journey. And there's yoga for everyone, because yoga isn't just doing headstands and asanas. Yoga is so much more than that, which is something that I always try and get across to people, is yoga is so much more than just asana practice. It's just a whole mindset, mindfulness, the whole thing, whole 8 limbs. So I try and bring that into people who are like, oh, but if you have got a disability and you want to do asana practice, there are loads of modifications, which I'll talk about in the next question. But yeah, it's just how do I overcome it? It's just something you just have to, I don't know, you just overcome things or you don't. I don't think there's a big secret. I know it can be for me it was very challenging in my like late teen years. It was very difficult because of my mindset. Having found yoga and being able to put my mindset in a better place, life just becomes easier and easier. And I think it all depends on your drive, your determination, etc. It just depends on who you are as a person, what your disability is, what your adaptations are. So yeah, it all just is all relative, you know, it's all subjective to who you are. So yeah. I hope that covers all of those questions about the arm. Oh yeah, I was born like it. For those who don't know, I was just born with a limb difference, had it my whole life. So it's just, it is what it is. My next question was about adaptations and modifications. There are so many different modifications. I know there are some amazing yoga teachers that do like wheelchair yoga. I know the chair yoga is very popular. I know that Koala have they do prosthetics specifically for yoga, which I am planning to get in the near future. So there's so many different tools and stuff out there. Again, it all depends on you and your needs, because everyone's needs are different. So currently I'm using blocks to help me. I use straps as well with certain things. I'm not as I could do more to help myself more, but I know that I don't go above and beyond. I can do a video. I will do an actual video to show how I use straps and blocks and things specifically for my limb difference. So a whole video is coming up on that. But the most important thing is finding balance, and the more you practice, the more you will find the awareness of your body. So it's just the trial and error, a lot of this stuff, and finding good teachers that can support you on your journey. So that's what I will say to that. I can point you in the right direction if there's something specific for you and your needs. Just drop me a message and I will get back to you. And then the next question I had was about how do I know which style is for me? So mostly I teach Hatha, which I was saying earlier. That's just my own variation of it. That's what resonates with me. Before I was a teacher, I was living in India, I was doing Ashtanga yoga, which is very much, it's like higher power. I did not know what I was doing. I was just like, this is yoga. And then I've recently started looking at yin yoga and the differences there. So each style has its different benefits, depending on what you want. Again, it's like it depends what your needs are. So every person is going to resonate with a different style. Some people like the more fast pace of Ashtanga, that sort of thing, and some people just want yin yoga. People who come to me, they just like the way I teach. So it's all relative. You just have to find a teacher that works for you. It's like finding a therapist. Not every person is going to resonate with every person. It's like art. You're not going to like, not every guy likes a Picasso. It's just finding what resonates with you and what works for you. And when you find that, that's great. So definitely play around with different styles and find what works for you, because there is no wrong in yoga. Like there's no such thing as being bad at yoga or can't do yoga. It doesn't exist. Even for people really in severe disabilities, you can still do yoga, because you can always bring it back to the breath and the awareness of the senses. So you can always do that. So you can always bring it back to something with yoga. There's no wrong way of doing it. And like, yes, you can maybe not as good at certain asanas, but you can always find like modifications or not everyone is going to be perfect at everything. And I think that's the beauty of things. I think we live in a world where so much is on this beauty aesthetic. Like you see me, I'm sitting here in my pajamas giving it the real tea, because there's too much of it. I don't wear makeup on camera. I just would never do it, because I just think let's just let it go. Yoga teaches us to come away from all of that anyway. So it's just about, we don't all need to have a perfect headstand, and although those things are nice and it's nice to work towards things and improve ourselves, that is not the key. The key is to find inner peace, to align your mind, your body, and your soul, and live in harmony with yourself and others and the earth that we live in. So that's what it is. So I hope that's answered all your questions. We will be back to our regular content next week. I just had a lot of new people come and wanted to give like a intro. So hope that went well. Hope you guys benefited from this video. Please, if you could like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff. Much appreciated. And I will be back next week with either a yoga video or a guided meditation. Depends what you guys want to see. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, thank you. Have a good week.